In today's video, I'm going to be working on a starting load for a bullet that I'm pretty excited about. This is the 115 grain DTAC with the nose ring. Now these bullets I only recently found out about, but basically I ordered these off David Tubb's website. It's a bullet that's specifically made to his designs specifications by Sierra, and then he goes and he points the nose, and what that does basically is to uniform that hollow point that's left over from the jacket forming process. A lot of times those are they can be different widths or different lengths, just because it's hard to get that perfectly right. So there's a process called pointing where you can go through and uniform those out basically. And then the nose ring is something he actually added in order to uniform the ballistic coefficients. So this has an effect where I don't know, the way that it cuts through the wind or something like that, or cuts through the air, is changed in a way that the BC numbers stay more consistent. But it also has the added effect of if you shoot them on game, it causes the tips of the bullets to break off. Now, typically there's no mechanism in a match bullet for any kind of expansion if you want to shoot it on animals, but this nose ring, from what I've heard, it causes the jacket to fail there at the nose ring and break off, so that the bullet will either expand or upend and tumble. And I've heard, now I haven't tested this, but I've just heard that it will do that down to an impact velocity of about 1,800 feet per second. So I thought it was a really interesting idea to have a very nice match bullet that you could also use on game animals. So my hope here is that I'm going to be able to find a bullet that I have one load that I shoot with this rifle, until the end of its barrel life. So what I've done today is I've got 9 different charge weights loaded up with H4831. I doubt that I'll get through all of them, but I'm just going to shoot 2 at each powder charge. I will shoot them on paper and just kind of take a look at how the accuracy looks, but I'm not really doing load development. I'm just trying to find pressure, and then once I find pressure, I'll back off a half grain or a full grain, just kind of depending, and then load up a bunch and just shoot them. So my load for my 108 ELDMs is also with H4831, and that charge weight is here toward the top of what I've got loaded up. So I don't know if I'll even get there. So whatever, I'm just going to shoot until I get pressure, and then I'll pull the rest of them. Hopefully this bullet shoots well. I'm pretty excited about what, kind of the possibilities of running this bullet. One more thing about this is that it has a rebated boat tail. So there's different reasons for doing a rebated boat tail, but one of the benefits that David Tubb claims on his website is that the rebated boat tail can increase your barrel life. Basically, it gives a better surface for the gases to seal around the base of the bullet, and you get less flame cutting or less erosion of gases escaping around the bullet until it's sealed to the bore upon first ignition. So I don't know if that's true. If it is, it'd be helpful in something like a 6 CREEDMOOR that has a fairly short barrel life that tends to be pretty hard on throats. So we'll see. I hope all of it's true. I hope this bullet shoots great, but that's why we're here. So we'll get started. Well, I guess I can say load development over. I wish they all shot that good. That bullet kind of hammers. So first shots, I came up here and shot my 108 hand load, 2 shots. I came down here to the middle. just to make sure I was going to be on paper, and you know, same point of impact, 2 holes, 2 bullets almost through the same hole. Work my way up over here to the next charge, 2 rounds there, 1 step up, 2 rounds there. I'm going half grain increments, and then 2 rounds here. So I kind of expected to hit pressure around here, but I hadn't hit it yet, so I kept going. 2 more rounds here, and then on this 2 round group over here, I got kind of a sticky bolt lift, not terrible, but light ejector swipe. I went ahead and fired the next group and got an even stickier bolt, pretty significant ejector swipe, so that's where I called it. Now this charge weight here is where I'm at with my 108s, so that's about what I would have expected, that about half a grain underneath that is where I was going to end up. So all in all, I'm pretty happy. I'm going to go ahead and load up some more at this 42.5 grains here, shoot a little bit larger group at 100, and then take it out to distance and see what kind of velocity I'm getting. So let's move on to that. So I'm back out with the 115 DTACs. I've got another 15 rounds loaded up at the 42.5 grain charge weight that I determined from that little ladder test. All I'm going to do here is shoot a 5 round group at 100 yards just to make sure that group isn't going to come apart. Make sure it holds together. Make sure it fairly closely matches my 0. And then I'm going to move on out to the steel and gather some velocity, and hopefully call this done. All right, there you have it. Time to move on out to steel and see how fast it's going. All right, set up on my steel range. I'm going to start out at 300 yards, and I've got a velocity guess of 2950 plugged in, which is calling for 0.8 of a mil. So we'll see what happens. Right, looked like a good center hit. Moving on to 400. At 400, it's calling for 1.5 mils. Hit just a little high at 400. I'm hoping that means I'm going a little faster than I expected, but I'm going to move on to 500 and see what happens. Keeping my velocity the same at 500, it's calling for 2.2 mils. I'm going to dial 2.2, but I'm going to sort of favor the bottom edge of the target, try to get 3 on, and then make a final velocity correction. This morning sun is kind of washing out my image in my scope, so I couldn't really see where that first one hit, and then the second one I'm guessing dropped off the bottom. So I've loaded up another 3. I'm just going to hold dead center because it looks like I'm hitting right where I'm dialed to, and try to get a nice 3 round group on. All right, beautiful. Looks like it's a really calm day. Just off to the right there, due to wind drift. I wasn't holding any wind drift, so I'm going to run down and put a tape measure on that group and see what that looks like. All right, that's 1 sighter followed by about a 2 1/4 inch 3-shot group at 500 yards with the 115 DTACs out of the 6 Creed. This bullet kind of hammers out of this rifle. Pretty pleased with it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.